There you go, Jeffrey.
Good morning, everyone. We are live here at the 1710 in Augusta, Maine for the Maine money match. What number is this, Mark?
14, I believe.
14. Our challengers today are Shawn Morrison and Nick Norcross. They are taking on the 11-time champions of Jeff Lapierre and Mark Weber. We are underway here. As Jeff slides by on the right there. Shawn looking to grab a couple here. He grabs 3. Starts his day out with a nice 10 bucks. And Jeff takes an 8 here. Shawn in box 2. On the head pin. 9 drop there for Shawn, leaves the 4 pin. And Jeff on the head pin as well. He leaves a 3 and 1. The 3, 6, 7, and 10. And Shawn plows the deadwood through to make his 4 pin there. Spare in the second. And Jeff a little full there on the 3 pin, chops that off. So Shawn gets on the board early there for the challengers.
Take it.
As they take an early lead here in the second box. Always great to see Shawn here. He's a championship level bowler. As he plows through the head pin again, leaves a weird 4 and 2 there. Check mark plus the 4, 7. As Jeff on the 3 pin, but he leaves himself a nice break there. Shawn on the object pin again. A little full. Leaves himself the banana split. And Jeff puts a great bit on the head pin and it goes. Nice shot there from Jeff to get himself going after a couple tough splits the first 2 boxes. Shawn makes a nice 8 box out of that mess. Shawn on lane 10 in the purple, just off the head pin on the left. Takes out 4. And Jeff on his load, a little full again on that head pin. Spread eagle. Shawn looking to just barely touch that head pin, squeaks by on the right. And Jeff a little off there on the 10 pin, looking for a big cleanup here. Shawn just finds the head pin there for a 9 box. And Jeff takes 8. So kind of a slow start here for both of our bowlers. Shawn delivers 1, 5, 9. Jeff squeaks by on the right. He's able to steal a couple extra there. Leaves himself the 1, 2, and 9. Shawn just on the 3 pin. That's all he gets. And Jeff puts his ball on the left of the head pin there. Takes out the 2 pin. So Shawn looking for a big cleanup here. And he takes out the 2, 7. Weird, very weird 6 box for Shawn there. A couple good object pin hits. As Jeff grabs 9. So both of our bowlers after 1 half have a 47 front. A couple of weird splits. As our anchor bowlers step up here, we have Nick Norcross on the right in the red, and Mark Weber on lane 9, wearing his purple and gray Huff Power Sports shirt. As Nick is on the 6 pin, takes out 3 there. As Mark kind of skip, bounces 1. Carries 9, leaves the 8 pin with a couple interesting pieces of deadwood down there.
go with your ball.
And Nick just by. Leaves the 4 horsemen left for a 10 bucks here.
Right through it.
As Mark plows through that. Spare in the first for Mark Weber. And Nick with a nice cleanup for a 9 there. Well, we're trying to make it so that you guys can see the scoreboard too, and if I go any farther, I won't be able to see the scores too well. Kind of a hard angle here we're working with. As Nick squeaks by, a head pin there, leaves the 1, 3, 8, and 10. And Weber on the pocket. Leaves himself the 2, 4, 7, and 10. And Nick, same spot as his last ball there, just squeaking by to the left on that head pin. As Mark slides by on the left there, takes out the 4 pin. And Nick finds the head pin there. Will the 3 pin go?
Oh, it's a great 9, almost 10.
So, a couple of 9 boxes there for our bowlers. That's Norcross. Goes 1, 3 there. Leaves the 2 and 1, the 2, 4, 6. And Weber's in the pocket. Great hit there, leaves the 5 and 8 pin with a piece of deadwood that's almost up by the lip. And Nick puts a great bid there right behind the 6 pin. As Weber pushes through the spare there. His second spare of the match. And Nick just off there grabs 9. Looks like he's having a little trouble sliding at the line there. Kind of see him jolting at the last second. Norcross on lane 10. In the 1-2. Takes out a fast 9 there, just leaving the 10 pin. Weber on his load, looking to carry the 8, and he does. Leaves himself the 4 horsemen right. And Nick's got a nice clean look at that 10 pin. And he is all over it for his first spare of the game. Nick breaks the ice for himself there. That's Mark. It's a good bid, but 10 pin stays. The horseman here in Augusta is a very mean shot sometimes, as he takes 9 on that. So Norcross here looking to keep something going after that nice 9 pin conversion last box. He's back in the pocket again, and he takes 10. Strike on spare for Nick Norcross in the first half. As Weber kind of bounces it down there. Takes out 4. And tough chop out there, the 3 pin. Leaves himself a weird looking group of 5 pins. He is through the hole for a 5 box. So, after one half, we have, looks like our challengers right now have a 2 pin advantage plus the strike working for Nick Norcross when he gets back up. And the bowlers swap sides here. Jeff on lane 10. Leaves a 2 and 1. Shawn just finds the head pin, carries 9. almost 10. Jeff looking at the 3, 6, and 4. He's on the right side of it, but nothing gets to the 4 pin. Shawn just a little too far left on that headwood, that deadwood. So Jeff takes 9, and Shawn with a 9 box as well. There you go.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mark. So Jeff looking to stay on that head pin here. And he does, but he takes another weird split. The 7, 9, and 10. Shawn kind of stuck there at the line. He leaves himself the 1, 4, 7, 9, and 10. Let's see what Jeff does with this deadwood here. Plays almost by the 10 pin. Takes out just the 9. As Shawn takes out the 8 on his spare attempt. Jeff checks 9. And Shawn checks 8 there. So after 7 boxes here, we have Jeff Lapierre with 65 and Shawn Morrison with 64. Pins have been a little stiff so far this morning, it looks like, up there. As Jeff slides by on the 3 pin, Shawn rips 10. Shawn in the 1-3 pocket there, carries 10. 5 pin was the last to go. As Jeff just by on the 2 pin. Leaves the 1, 7, 8, and 10. So Jeff takes a 7 box there. That puts him at 72 through 8. Meanwhile, Shawn Morrison at 74, working on a strike. When Shawn's been able to put his ball in that pocket today, it's been very explosive. As Jeff on the 2 pin there, takes out 3 again. Shawn crosses over in the 1-3 again, a little tighter that time, looks like. Leaves the 2, 4, 7. Piece of deadwood that looks like it will not come in play. As Jeff takes out just the deadwood on his shot, Shawn pucks out the 4 pin for an 8 load. So we have an 8 box for Jeff. And it looks like a 9 for Shawn. 1 box left here in our first string. Lapierre in the 10th box here. On the 2 pin again, leaves himself the 1-3. Shawn in the 1-3 pocket himself. Triangle left, the 2, 4, 5. As Jeff gets his spare in the 10th. Shawn slides by on the 4 pin there. Shawn Morrison finishes up his first string with a 9 for an even 100. Definitely a tough start there for Shawn. As Jeff fills his spare with 5. Puts him at 95.
Streaming this for everybody to watch that bowling.
So, as as our anchor bowlers step up here.
Step up
Mark is on 55 on lane 10. And Nick Norcross is at 57 working on a strike he threw in the 5th. And Nick is in the pocket. He carries 8, leaves the 4-7 with a favorable piece of deadwood. As Mark slides by the head pin there. Nick gets a spare in the 6th, so that puts him at a 67.5, 77 in the ball through 6.
At least somebody keep the ball.
As Mark Weber takes 9.
Same ball up there, Nick. Same ball, bud.
Alrighty, Mark Weber on 10 here. In the 1-2 pocket. Leaves the 3 and 10 pins. Piece of deadwood kind of rolling away. Let's see if it rolls back in. And Nick on his spare fill. Pretty much the same exact ball as Mark there, it looked like. Leaves the 3, 5, and 10. So the piece of deadwood that's going to come into play, I'm just not sure if that'll allow him to cover the 5 pin on that spare attempt here. And he got it off the wall. He was kind of on the red line there, which is where he had to be to make that shot. As Mark Weber takes his 10. Puts him at 74 through 7. And Nick Norcross, with his 4th mark in a row, puts him at 94 in a ball through 7. Started out a little rough there, a couple boxes, but he's really found his groove here. As Weber leaves that weird 4 and 2 that Shawn left over there on that side in the first half. As Nick off on the 2 pin. Takes out 7 though, leaves the 1, 6, and 10. Very nice piece of deadwood in front of the 6-10. As Weber off on the 4 pin, carries 3. Making the setback. And Nick plows through it for the spare. 5 in a row, Nick Norcross. As Weber takes 9 there, puts him at 83 through 8. And Nick Norcross, 111 in the ball through 8. So our challengers here really jumped into an early lead. 33 plus a ball right now. As Mark, looking to stop the bleeding, goes through the head pin again. Punches out 4. And Nick got that one out there a little bit. Looking to carry a couple more. Takes out 5. Leaves the 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. As Mark is on the 10 pin there. And Nick slides by left, misses everything there. So both of our bowlers looking for a cleanup here. As Mark Weber takes a 9 box there, that's a nice out. And Nick, tough 7 there. He was on the 2 pin.
Hey, Mark for a 40. Come on, give me a 40.
So that ends his streak of 5 in a row. But Nick Norcross is currently at 123 through 9. Sizzling start for him. As Mark Weber punches out the 1, 8, 9. Nick in the 1, 2 pocket. Leaves the 3, 10. His ball has definitely been working in that 1, 2 pocket this string. And Weber off on the 6, 10 pocket there. Leaves a cluster of 5. Nick on the 3 pin. Doesn't get the 10 pin to go somehow. As Mark checks 8 there for a 100 string himself. And Nick with a 9 has a 132 start for Nick Norcross.
All right.
So after the first string here, our challengers of Shawn Morrison and Nick Norcross have a 37-pin lead over our defending champions. Definitely a struggle string for 3 of our bowlers, but Nick Norcross really the difference in that first one. Big 132 string. That's Jeff Lapierre. Doesn't make the set back. Shawn makes his 9 drop, used all of it there. As Jeff takes 9.
Okay, buddy.
So Jeff looking to stay on that headpin. He's been on that headpin most of the day so far. And there we go. He drops 9. And Shawn just slides by there. Takes out 3. And Jeff looking to capitalize here. And he does on the 5-pin. Good shot there for Jeff. Shawn on the outside of that 1-pin. Sends a pin flying all the way into lane 8. Wow, that thing was on a mission. That thing was flying. Shawn takes a nice 10 there. Puts him at 23 through 2. Not today. Not today. So Jeff looking to stay on that headpin again. He's off. Leaves the 4 horsemen right. As Shawn leaves himself the 137. Jeff makes the 4 horsemen. Not an easy shot to go here. Shawn was on the outside of that headpin again, but his ball did not carry into the 7. Shawn takes a 9 box there, puts him at 32 through 3. And Jeff Lapierre working on 2 in a row here is on at 35 and a ball. And Jeff looked like 2 there, but somehow carried 5. Shawn does punch to the half Worcester right. Very interesting there from Jeff. He takes out the half Worcester left and the 6, 9, 10. And he takes out the 3-pin there in a spare attempt. As Shawn's in the pocket, takes out a weird cluster of 4, leaves himself the 5, 6, 7, and 10. And a 6 box there from Jeff. Shawn checks 8, gains a couple pins there. So despite those 2 marks, Jeff Lapierre has only has a 46 through 4 here. As he is on the pocket, and that 10 slides over Shawn. Wow. Incredible ball there by Shawn Morrison. That looked like it should have been 10 all the way, and then he leaves the 8 and 10. Unbelievable break. As Jeff chops the 2-pin off of that 4 there. Shawn looking to slide the 10 off the wall, just sneaks by. As Jeff takes a nice 8 box there. So does Shawn. So we have 48 for Shawn Morrison and 54 for Jeff Lapierre. Bowlers are a little punchy right now, it looks like up there. Trying to find their sweet spots. Here are our anchor bowlers. String 2 to start their game. Mark Weber drops 8, leaves the 2 and the 10. And Nick leaves the 4 horsemen right and the 9-pin. See what Weber decides to play here on his 4-10. And he sends it right off the wall. He was on the right side of that 4-pin and it danced all the way across. Nick matches it with a spare. Both bowlers with nice spares there in the first box. Nick was right in that 1-3 pocket. Looks like the ball did a lot of that damage. Mark Weber on the fill here. On the 2-pin. Leaves the 4 horseman right. Nick looking to find that head pin. Slides by on the left. Punches out 2. Weber looking to run it down, and he chops out just the head pin there. And Nick finds that hole again. Looking for a big cleanup here. As Weber runs the 3 for 10 there. Norcross takes an 8 box. Not a bad out of that at all. So that puts Mark Weber at 26 through 2. And Nick Norcross at an even 20. Both of our bowlers looking to get back on that head pin here. As Mark Weber in the 1-2 drops 10. Nick looking to match. Great ball there. Leaves the 6. Oh, there goes. Just a 9-pin now. See where that piece of deadwood decides to settle down. Looks like it's going to be off in the gutter. We get a little bit of get a little bit of screen time here for Nate Preventure. One of our front desk employees here at the 1710 and bowler. Thanks, Nate. Well, we're looking to double up. Punches out the eagle there. I'll give you a nice little shout out. And Nick blisters the pocket there. Leaves the 8, 9, 10. A couple pieces of deadwood, but anytime you see those 3 arrangement of pins, it's not a very welcoming sight. And looking to get it off the wall there. That was a great bid. Leaves just the 8-pin. As Weber with a nice 10 there. As Nick Norcross takes 10. So Mark Weber is currently at 53 through 4. And Nick Norcross, after a couple of tough looking leaves there, is at 39 through 4. Weber back in that pocket, leaves just a 6-pin. And Nick a little full there, leaves a 3 and 2. The 3, 6, 10, 4 and 7. As Weber slides by that 6-pin there on the left. And Nick slides by everything there. Looks like he's having some sliding problems on lane 9. Weber cleans his up for a 10 and a 63 half. And Nick just slides by for a 7 box. Tough half for him, 46. And Shawn Morrison steps up here on the right side, lane 10. And he punches out the spread eagle. Jeff Lapierre on lane 9. He's on the 3-pin. Leaves the 1-7-10. House shot here. As Shawn slides by on the 6-pin. Jeff's got a couple of nice pieces of deadwood there. And he's able to get it to go on the right side of that head pin. You get a free game of bowling, Jeff. Free game of bowling.
I didn't see any bowling. I got it. Get back at it.
Alrighty, so Shawn Morrison here on lane 10. Looking to stay on that head pin. He does, but he punches the eagle again. We've seen a lot of that today so far. As Jeff, 1-3 pocket, leaves the 8-pin. Looks like he's got a little bit of wiggle room with that deadwood. As Shawn, on the 6-10, but he got a piece of deadwood to spin around and almost took out everything for him. As Jeff, red line shot there, makes his 9 drop. Puts him at 83 and a ball through 7. As Shawn takes a 9 box out of his eagle, 66 through 7.
Load it up, buddy. Load it up.
Let's see if Shawn makes the adjustment here. Is able to find the pocket. Great ball there on the 1-3, a little bit of a crossover. Leaves the 2, 4, and 6. Jeff, that was the 1-2 pocket for him. He leaves himself the 5 and 9. And Shawn chops off the 3-pin there. I'm sorry, the 2-pin. As Jeff is in that 5-9 pocket. Shawn kind of bounces one down and takes 9. 4 splits in a row for Shawn. He's been blistering that head pin, but not getting much love in the pocket. Meanwhile, Jeff over there stepped up and thrown 3 in a row, putting himself at 101 and ball through 8. See if Shawn can get something to shoot at here. Great ball in the pocket there for Shawn. Let's see where this deadwood settles down. So Shawn leaves himself the 7, 8, and 9 pin. Just barely can see the 7 pin there. And that was a great bid there. He was looking to catch just the cap there, kind of sweep it all down. As Jeff pucks out the 6 pin there on his spread eagle attempt. And Shawn with a nice 9 box there. Jeff looking to clean up. He takes out 2 for a 7 box.
There you go. Go, Lovin. We have Bodie.
So Shawn here looking to stay on the head pin. And he drops 10. Shawn's been all over that head pin all half. He hasn't had anything to look at so far, but he's able to drop 10 there. Jeff looking to match it. Leaves himself the Greek church. 4, 7, 8, 6, and 10. With a piece of deadwood down by the 6-10. Almost looking vertically at him. Just trying to clip that triangle there and get something moving off the wall. But he takes out just the 8-pin there, so he's looking at the big 4. And he tries the deadwood now and gets 9 out of it. And that's a good bounce back game from Jeff, as he has a 121. Shawn leaves himself the 1, 2, 7, and 8. Looks like it's all tied up. And it is. He goes 20 bucks in the last box there for a 104. So after 2, that puts Shawn Morrison at 204 and Jeff Lapierre at 216. Both of our anchor bowlers are not on marks, as Norcross leaves the 1, 3, 9, and 10. Weber, a little full on that head pin, looking to carry a couple extra here. Leaves the 2, 3, and 7. And Nick just slides by that head pin. Leaves the 1, 9. And Weber chops out the 2 pin. Both of our bowlers looking for a 9 or better here, as Nick does just that, takes 9. And Weber takes the safe single pin over there with the deadwood around it for a 9 as well. Slides by on the 3 pin. Just got a working ball there. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 5. And as Weber's in the 1, 2 pocket, he's able to carry that 9 pin. That's huge there. Leaves himself just the 3 pin. And then on the head pin, slices it off the wall. That must have gone by there 2 or 3 times and it didn't touch it. As Weber crushes his in there. That's a nice 10 bucks there from Nick.
Same pitch, sit in that 1, 2 pocket.
So Nick looking to get on the board in the second half here. He's in the 1, 2 pocket and he drops 7. I'm sorry, wow, drops 9. That was, wow.
Set up. That's fine. Come on, Wood.
So Nick Norcross here, looking at the 7 pin. We'll see what that deadwood does. Looks like he was just too high on it. That deadwood wasn't very friendly to him, as Weber plows through.
I think took off.
That was a Josh Daly special ball right there. Josh Daly does it all the time. The old bouncies, yeah. So Nick Norcross looking for a couple boxes here to kind of bring the challengers a little closer. He's on the head pin, drops 7.
In the corner.
Weber takes out 6 on his spare load. And Nick's got the 247 with a piece of deadwood that, well, we'll see what it does. He pushes right through it, right on the left side of it, drove it straight back. That was a great shot there from Nick, veteran Reed. Now Weber gets the head pin off the wall, takes out the 9 pin. So that should be a 9 box there for Mark Weber. There we go. Puts him at 112 through 9. And Nick Norcross looking for one more here. Is at 84 and a ball through 9. And Nick crosses over. Drops 9 again, leaves a 7 pin. And Weber leaves a 3 and 2. Nick's got a nice clean look at that 7 pin this time. And he unfortunately dropped that, and that'll be a 9 box for him. What's that? Let me see here. I think you guys are up 1, right? You guys are, it was 37, that was 36. Yep. 104, 102.
Yeah, Jeffrey, let's go.
Fair 121s. Hey, Weber. Carl said something about that fill in the 9th should have been 6 and 5.
Oh, yeah.
You?
No, it was a 5.
That was a 5? Okay.
Okay, moment now. It is what it is now. So
Okay, yeah. Can't correct it now. All right, 121.
It might have been a 6.
I didn't see it either. He just commented it, so I just wanted to say something.
Probably was. Sounds right, because it was 2, 1, 2, 10, 9, so yeah.
So, Shawn Morrison starts out game 3 with a strike, as me and Mark were talking about something there. Gives me a second to do some math. And
Okay, buddy. Okay.
so Jeff starts out with 10 there.
10. Double it up.
Double it up.
So Shawn looking to double up.
Another ball up there.
Slides by on the 2 pin. Takes out 4. And Jack leaves himself with 3 and 2. Piece of deadwood right in front of the 3, 6, 10.
Yeah, hit it.
Shawn slices that head pin right off the wall, but it is unable to get to the 5 pin. That's a great 19 fill. As Jeff snaps it off the wall, it goes right in front of the 4 and 7. Shawn grabs his 10 box. That puts him at 29 through 2. And Jeff grabs 10.
10, Jeff.
Right back.
Now Shawn in the 3rd box
Good ride.
leaves a 2, 4, 7, 6, 9, and 10. As Jeff is in the pocket, leaves the 5 pin. Shawn looking to slice and dice here. Pushes it into the 9, but nothing goes into the 6 and 10. As Jeff all over that single pin there in the 3rd. Puts him at 30 and a ball. As Shawn takes his 10 there. Alright, I'll show you guys the scores here real quick. I'll get them still up here. There we go. So our challengers on the right of Shawn Morrison and Nick Norcross after 2 have a 1-pin lead over Mark Weber and Jeff Lapierre. Shawn looks for the backdoor strike there. Leaves the head pin wobbling. Looks like that piece of deadwood might be out up there. So Shawn's at a clean look at the head pin here. Looks like maybe even a little guide out there to the left. And he just slides by. And Jeff looking at the 3, 6, 10. Chops off the 3 pin. Shawn picks up his 10 box there. And Jeff slides by for an 8. Puts him at 45 through 4. And Shawn is at 49 through 4 right now. Both of our bowlers looking to get a little momentum going for their partners here. As Shawn in the 1-3 leaves the 4 pin. He's got a nice clean look at it. As Jeff slides off on the 3 pin. Leaves the Shawn just slides by that 4 pin. That's a couple of close misses for Shawn there. As Jeff, nice and full on the head pin, gives himself 55 in a ball and going into the half. And Shawn Morrison with a 59 half. So our anchor bowlers step up here. We have Nick on the right. Starting his 3rd game. Right in the 1-2 pocket. And they're still mixing for him. He's got the 6 and 10. Clean look at it. As Weber punches through the spread eagle. Nick, clean look at it. Slides by on the 10 pin. Weber a little full on the 3 pin there. Leaves himself the 2, 4, 7, and 10. As Nick checks his 10 box there to start his 3rd game. Weber with a nice 10 box as well. That's a good 10 out of the eagle. Norcross here in the 1-2 again. The 10 pin does not carry for him, so he leaves himself a 5-10. As Weber leaves himself the 4 and 7. Both of our bowlers. Looks like this is a fairly favorable shot for Nick, and he makes it. That was a great shot there for Nick, right on the end of that deadwood, spun it in. As Weber got on the right side of that 4 pin and almost spun it right around the wall, but it carried the 7. Both bowlers here looking to have 7 or better loads on their marks. As Nick just a little full on that head pin that time. That's a tough 4. As Weber. Great crossover ball there. Leaves the 4-9. That might be the fastest 4-9 I've ever seen. Weber plays the curtain there. Norcross looking for a big cleanup here. Looking at a 5. And he takes 3. Nice 8 box out of that. As Mark takes a 9 box. Puts him at 37 through 3. And Nick Norcross at 32. little full on that head pin again. Leaves a big 4 with a couple pieces of deadwood. Let's see how he decides to play them here. Right below the red line. Nothing carries into the 10 pin. That's a great bid there from Nick. As Mark punches through the 610. Very favorable piece of deadwood there for him. As Nick takes his 10 bucks. Nick's ball has been right there this half. It's been very close. Half an inch to the left or to the right, and I feel like this is a different half for him. As he finds the pocket there. Leaves just the 5 pin. As Weber looking to mix up 1 or 2 more. Takes out 8. Leaves the 3 and the 9. With what appears to be favorable deadwood, but you never know. As Nick checks his spare off for 52 in a ball, going into his half. And Weber does push back for him. Puts him at 65 in a ball at the half. As our first bowlers step up here, we have Jeff Lapierre working on a mark on lane 10. And he chops off the 3-9 there for a 2 load, gives him a 57 front half. Shawn on the 2 pin himself. Leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 8. And Jeff was nice and light in that pocket. Leaves himself the 5, 6, 7, and 10. Shawn just barely clips the head pin there, leaves the 6 pin. Jeff looking for a couple, and he does that, gets an 8. And Shawn takes 9. Puts him at 68 through 8. He's been pinning very well this string. Jeff Lapierre in the 1-2 pocket. Leaves the 3 and 5, piece of deadwood on it. And Shawn Morrison himself has the 4-7, piece of deadwood that's not as favorable as Jeff's. He's still going to be on that 4 pin. Jeff had a lot more wiggle room on his. Shawn just slides by there. Is the 10 for him. That's the ball he was looking for. And Jeff looking for a big load here. Gets 6. Shawn looking to answer. Drops 8, leaves the 3 and the 5. And he's looking at a cap just to the right of that 3 pin. As Jeff cuts the 3 pin in front of the 4 pin. That's a great bid there from Jeff. And Shawn unfortunately finds that cap. Takes out just the 3 pin. So Jeff looking at the covered up 4 pin there. And Shawn takes a 10 as well. So a couple of 10s there from our bowlers. Puts Jeff Lapierre at 91 through 8. And Shawn Morrison at 88 through 8. 2 boxes left here. Still plenty of time for our bowlers to find that 120, 130 string maybe. As Jeff punches out the 159. Shawn in the pocket himself. Leaves the 310. It looks like as long as he's on that 3 pin, that should carry. As Jeff takes out the 3-6. Shawn somehow finds a way to chop through that without touching that back piece of deadwood whatsoever. That was just incredible. So Jeff takes an 8 box there, and Shawn with a 10 gains a couple more pins on the string. So both of our bowlers looking for a little bit of 10th box magic here. As Jeff rips 9, and Shawn drops 10. That was one of those ones right out of the hand, you could feel it. As Jeff covers his 6-pin for a spare. Sometimes as a bowler you just know, and I feel like there Shawn really got into one and found that pocket. Oh, that was 10 all day. Right out of the hand, that was money. That was just beautiful. So Jeff with the 1-ball fill here. He carries 9. Nice fill there from Jeff. Good game. I believe that'll be a 117 for him. Shawn looking to double up. Leaves the 5, 6, 9, and 10. That's a 118 game from Jeff Lapierre. Nice finish there in the last 4 boxes to really make a game out of that. And Shawn looking to sweep it over. Takes 8. And a 116 game for himself. Both of our anchor bowlers here are stepping up, working on spares. And there's that check mark +2 again.
Spread eagle here, getting out of control.
I mean, all of us. Every single one of us.
That and that, we've seen that shot.
Or whatever.
That shot's been there 3 or 4 times on lane 10 too. Yeah, it's crazy. It's unbelievable.
3 and 2, 3, like 3 and 3, or we see like cluster 4 and 2.
So Mark kind of skips one down there, makes an 8 box. And Nick with a fantastic 9 there. Makes a 3 and 2. So both of our bowlers here looking to stay on that head pin. And Weber does just that and knocks 10 down. And Nick finds the 1-2 pocket. They're still working for him. He leaves a 5-10. Looks to be all wrapped up for him. He's on that deadwood and he pushes right through it for a spare shot. That was a nice read there from Nick. Plowing right through that pin, right, the 6-pin. So Weber looking to double up here. That was a beautiful ball from him, but he leaves the 7-pin. Nick looking to break up the split. He cannot. Leaves the 2, 4, 7, and 10 for a 6 load on his spare as Weber
That's your pin, buddy. That's your pin.
picks a 7-pin like we're up in Moncton, Canada for a 10 spare. As Norcross, the old hidden ball trick, takes a 10 box there, puts him at 91 through 8. Mark Webber on his spare fill here. Right back in that pocket, looking to steal a couple more. Does not. Leaves the 5, 6, 9, and 10. Has Nick's in that pocket. Leaves the 2, 4, 7. Piece of deadwood that might come into play. And Nick slides by that 2-pin. Chops off the 4-pin there. Looking at the 2, 7 for a 10 box here. Webber checks 9. He is looking at 122 through 9. And Nick goes through that same hole for an 8 box. Puts him at 99 through 9. So the last box here, the third game. Mark Webber leaves the 2, 4, and 5. And Nick Norcross, a little mixing action. Leaves the 1, 3, and 7. As Mark Webber goes right around that deadwood, converts on the 2, 4, 5. Puts him at 132 in a ball. And Nick, on the right side of that head pin, sends it right around the 7-pin. Nick will be looking at a 109 here, third string. And a 225, third game for our challengers. Puts them at 663. And our champions there of Mark Webber, Jeff Lapierre, bowl a 257 as Webber has a 139. So game 4 here, Jeff Lapierre steps up on lane 10 and rips 9. Shawn Morrison on the headpin himself leaves the 2, 4, and 5. Piece of deadwood behind the 5-pin. It should help him carry this. Jeff's got the 7-pin with a really nice piece of deadwood around it. And he makes a spare in the 4th box here. I'm sorry, the 4th string, first box. And Shawn makes his spare as well. So here are the scores after 3. We have 694 for Mark Webber and Jeff Lapierre, and 663 for Morrison and Norcross. Still 7 games here, so plenty of time left. Anything can happen for any one of our bowlers. As Jeff filling his spare off on the 3-pin, but he leaves the 1, 8, and 9. Piece of deadwood right behind the head pin. And Shawn on the 2-pin as well. Leaves the 1, 3, 4, and 7. Jeff looking to capitalize. Went low on that deadwood, looking to spin it in, but nothing spun into the 8-pin. As Shawn cherries off the head pin there. And we see Mark Carrier chasing the pin here. Owner here at the 1-7-10. As Jeff takes a 9 box. puts him at 26 through 2. And Shawn with an 8 puts him at 24. And Jeff on the 3-pin carries 6. And Shawn chops off just the 4-pin there. And Jeff on the outside of that 1-pin can't carry anything into the 4. As Shawn kind of finds the pocket there. Leaves the 5, 6, and 10 the setback. As Jeff checks 10 for 36 after 3. Shawn takes his 9 for 33 through 3. Jeff Lapierre in his 4th box here. Slides by on the 2-pin, but leaves the 1, 8, 9 again. Shawn just off on the 3-pin. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, 9, 6, and 10. Jeff looking to punch this one off the wall. Won't go. Leaves the 8, 9. Shawn on the outside. Nothing caromed into the 4 or the 9-pin. As Jeff takes 8 there. Shawn grabs his 9 box. So Jeff in the 5th box here. Up on the 2-pin again. As Shawn finds the pocket there. Piece of dead ones come flying out everywhere. As Shawn leaves the 8-pin. Jeff shooting at the 1, 6, 10, and the 8. Makes a nice shot there. Caleri minus the 3. As Shawn pushes through his spare as well. So both of our first bowlers end off with a spare there. Mark Weber steps up on lane 10.
Take the extra.
And leaves the 4, 6, and 7.
Catch it.
Norcross, a little
Might help
bull
with your ball.
on the head pin himself.
Send it over.
Leaves the 6, 10 and the 7-pin. Almost opposite shots here for our bowlers.
Oh
As Weber.
Mark Weber.
Off the wall, a piece of wood comes flying
I didn't think it would go like
into
that, but
the 4, 7.
fell the shot.
As Nick checks 9 there.
All right, come on, Nick.
So Mark Weber looking for a big load here on that beautiful spare shot he made there on the first.
Six another.
Just slides by on the 2-pin. Leaves the 4 horsemen right. As Nick just slides by the head pin there. Going Brooklyn for him. Leaves the Caleri left.
Yeah.
Weber on the outside of that head pin. Takes out the 1 and the 6. Leaves the 3 and the 10. And Nick takes out everything but the head pin there. As Weber takes 9, puts him at 25 through 2.
We got an 8 at this there.
Norcross slides right by for an 9 box, 18 through 2 for him.
You are correct,
Let's
sir.
get going, though. Show me the way.
And Mark Weber's on the 3 pin there.
Take it out.
Leaves the 1, 4, and 7. Nick on the 3 pin as well. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 8 pin, sorry. And Weber on the cap to the left of the head pin. Leaves himself the 4, 7 with a flat piece of deadwood. And Nick just slides by on the 2 pin there, that's all he gets. And Weber takes 10, puts him at 35 through 3. Nick looking for a big out, and he takes 10 as well.
That's the ball right there, bud. Remember that ball. Break it out.
Mark Weber on the head pin. Leaves a 3 and 2. And Norcross off on the 2 pin. Got a little mix though. Leaves the 1, 7, 8, and 9.
He's not touching the 3. Well, 5 to the 3, you missed us right.
And Weber was on that 3 pin. Carries just the 3 and the 6. And Nick on the right side of the head pin. Head pin went into the 7. And the ball into the deadwood took out the 8 and the 9. Nice shot there from Nick in the 4th. As Weber takes an 8 box there. Puts him at 43 through 4. And Nick's been real close here all half. I feel like he's due to put one really well on the head pin. And he slides by on the 3 pin. Still drops 7 though. Leaves the 1, 8, and 9 pin. Weber looking at the 7, 9, 10. Finds a cap. Takes out just the 10 pin. Nick looking to push through again. Off the wall. Almost made it clean without that deadwood in there whatsoever. Weber checks a 9 for a 52 half. And Nick with a 10. Puts him at 55. And a 1 pin lead at the half for our challenges right now in this string. Both Shawn Morrison and Jeff Lapierre working on marks here as they step up. Second half of the 4th game here. As Shawn in the pocket. Leaves the 2, 4, and 5. Clean look at it. Gives him a 59 front half. And Jeff on the head pin as well, a little full. Leaves the 4, 6, and 10 with a couple pieces of deadwood. Shawn slides by on the 4 pin there. Jeff looking to get something off the wall. Takes out just the 4 pin. Shawn grabs a 9 box. Puts him at 68 through 6. And Jeff takes 10 there. Puts him at 71 through 6. Hello, Greg. And we got Shawn Morrison here in the 7th. Clobbers the pocket. Looking for that deadwood to help him out on his 5-8. kind of a tricky piece of deadwood here. Just slides by there. Had the right idea, just trying to nip it on the very end. As Jeff plows through the setback there, that piece of deadwood rolled up for him. Shawn Morrison in the 8th here. I believe that's the 4th or 5th time we've seen that break over there on lane 10. Check mark +2. As Shawn makes it. What a shot there for Shawn Morrison. Jeff chops off the 6-pin there after putting 6 on his spare load. As he checks 9 for 96 through 8. 95 through 8, my bad. So Shawn looking for a big load here. Just slides by for 2 there. Tough 2 load there. We never like to see that at any load. As Jeff leaves the 1 and 7. Jeff looking to drive this one in. He sends a piece of deadwood off the other wall, comes back right in front of the 7. Shawn, nice 10 there for him. He is at 99 through 9. And Jeff with a 10 there puts him at 105 through 9.
11, we get 20.
Morrison here in the 10th. Slides by to the left. Finds that 4-pin again. Second time he's done that this string. Very uncharacteristic. As Jeff on the headpin leaves the 2, 4, 6, and 10. And Morrison slides right there on the 6-pin. Leaves the 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Looking at a 10 box as Jeff just chops off the 2-pin. So Shawn kind of steals 9 there for a 108 in his 4th game. And Jeff takes an 8 box for a 113. This is our 4th game here. Here in Maine, we do our money matches with 10 strings. So we still have 5 to go. 6 to go after this, I guess. And we're looking at right about a 33-pin match right now in favor of our champions, Jeff Lapierre and Mark Weber. Nick slides by the headpin on the right side there. He's looking at the 1, 5, and 7. And Nick just chops out the headpin there. 8 box puts him at 63 through 6. And Weber chops off the 4-pin for a 9 box. He is at 61 through 6. Mark Webber rips a rack there while I was doing some math. Nick Norcross looking at a 3 and 2. It looked like he was going to get around that 2-pin, but his ball found a cap down there.
Let's just get a good break here, see what happens.
And he checks an 8 box there. Nick rips the head pin there, leaves just the 10 pin. And Webber looking to double up, leaves the check mark. I'm sorry, minus the 7, the triangle left. And Nick a little too far left there. The ball almost came back to get it. As Webber takes an 8 load on his strike there. So Nick will grab 10 there, put him at 81 through 8. And Webber will take a 10 for 89. So Nick drops 8. He's looking at the 2 and the 8 pin. Webber drops 8 as well. He has the 9 and 10. The next looks like it's all tied up for him. And it is. He's on that 2 pin and it pushes right back into the 8. Webber takes a 9 box there, puts him at 98 through 9. And Nick punches 2 on that spare there. Webber's on the head pin, drops 7, leaves the 3, 6, and 4. And Norcross punches the other side there, full Worcester. Webber put a good bid on that 3, 6, 4, but nothing was able to get the 4. And Nick takes a tough 4 box there for a 97. 205 string there for our challengers. And a 107 for Mark Webber and a 220 for our defending champions.
All right, here we go.
Shawn Morrison starting out his 5th game here. Leaves the 3, 6, and the 4. Shot that Mark Webber was just looking at. And he almost gets it to come off the wall. And Jeff shooting at the spread eagle. Takes out the right side. 10 for Morrison to start. And a 9 for Lapierre. Shawn on the head pin. Leaves the 3, 5, 9, and 10. Slides by the 3 pin on the left. I will pop the scores up right after this box, Brandon. Alrighty. Use the focus in here real quick. There we go. After 4, Jeff Lapierre and Mark Weber are up 46. It is 9-14 to 8-68. This is a 10-string match, so there are still 6 strings left. Jeff shooting at the 1-2-7. He hit the 2 pin dead in the face. Piece of deadwood came back around and knocked out the head pin for a spare there. As Shawn takes a 9 box. So Shawn on 27 here through 3. On the 3 pin leaves the 4 horsemen left, plus the 10 pin. Jeff looking for a big load here on the head pin. He drops 8, leaves the 3 and the 5. As Shawn runs the horseman down, takes out the 10 pin. Great shot there from Shawn. Jeff looking to match, and he does. Alrighty, and I'm back here. So both of our bowlers miss the head pin on their spare loads. Shawn is looking at the 1, 6, and 10. Piece of deadwood in front of the 6-10 appears to be friendly. And he goes right around it. Doesn't even touch the deadwood at all. 2 in a row for Shawn Morrison to end his half. Jeff is looking at the 1 and the 10. And he uses his deadwood. The 1 pin slides it over into the 10. He is at 64 and a ball. 3 in a row for him. So now our anchor bowlers step up to start their 5th game. Nick looking to find that 1-2 pocket. Slides just by it. Leaves the 1, 7, 8, and 10. And Mark punches 2. Nick looking to do something crazy. Leaves the 1 and 7. And Weber finds the curtain there. Nick Waiting for that wood to settle down. Fires now. Takes a 9 box to start. Weber looking for a big cleanup here. Takes out the 1 and the 9 for a 6 box. I'm sorry, a 4 box. Math has not been my friend today. And Nick on the 3 pin. Leaves the 4 horsemen left and the 8 pin. And looks like Weber kind of stuck at the line a little bit there. He leaves the same break, but with a nice deadwood right behind the 2 pin. Looks like it ties the shot together for him. Norcross puts the ball maybe a little full on the head pin. 2 pin dances around into the 7. And Weber, that piece of deadwood helped him carry the back 3 as Nick takes a 10 there. And Nick Norcross here crosses over. Leaves the check mark left. Weber on his load in the 1-2 pocket. Leaves the 6 and 9. And Nick puts a great bid on that, right on the outside, the right side of the 2 pin. The 7 pin's still wiggling right now. As Weber looked like he was going to chop the 6 off that, but he got just enough of that 9 pin. As Nick grabs 10, puts him at 29 through 3. In the 4th box, punches out the half was still left. Weber on his spare load there has the diamond right, the 3, 5, 6, and 9, and the 7 pin. Piece of deadwood in that diamond looks like it'll help him make the shot. And Nick put his ball right in the pocket there in the 1-3. Just kind of went dead after that. As Weber steals the diamond back door. Nick takes an 8 box. And 9 box for Mark Weber. Crosses over onto the 3 pin. Chops out the quarter Worcester. And Weber blisters the 1-2. And Nick looking for a comeback ball here. Leaves 6 on the plate. As Weber makes his 9 drop there in the 5th. Puts him at 56 plus a ball. And Nick Norcross with a tough half there. 44 with no marks. So both of our first bowlers here step up working on spares. Jeff on your right and Shawn on your left. Jeff is in the pocket. Carries 8. 72 half for him. And Shawn rips 9 there, puts him at 63. And Jeff is looking at the 6-10 with a nice piece of deadwood. And he he slides by on the left. Shawn's got a clean look at the 5-pin, and he's all over it for a spare. 3 in a row for Shawn Morrison. As Jeff takes his 10 there. Puts him at 82 through 6. So Jeff looking to stay right on that head pin here, as is Shawn. Jeff drops 6, and Shawn on his load. 9, will it be 10? No, the 7 pin decides to stand, but looks like it's all wrapped up for a spare, and a nice 9 load. And Jeff almost stole the 3 pin there. And Shawn is all over his 9 drop there as well. So 4 in a row for Shawn Morrison here, puts him at 92 and a ball through 7. Stepped up in the second half here, has been on fire. Jeff fires. Leaves the big 4. Shawn in the pocket again. Carries 10. Strike on spare. I can't put my camera higher, Greg. This is as high as the tripod will go right now. As Jeff slides by there, takes a 7 box. So Jeff here, after his tough 7 bucks there, drops 8. Shawn looking to double up. Leaves the 2, 5, and 7. Shawn has really found that pocket here. Jeff looking to take the 1-6, and he does. And Shawn carries the 7. 1, 2, 3, 6 marks in a row for Shawn Morrison. He has caught fire here in the 5th string in Augusta. Both bowlers on fills here. Jeff takes 5. Shawn just slides by the pocket. Carries 7, 8. Puts him at 140 through 9. And Jeff leaves himself the 1 and the 8 for a 10 bucks here. Shawn shooting the 1-7, and he makes it. 150 and a ball for Shawn Morrison here. After a 63 front half. And a nice 122 string for Jeff, but he's going to lose to his opponent by 40 pins. Shawn in the pocket again. Carries 9. And a 159 for Shawn Morrison. 63 front half to a 159. And Shawn shows why he's here. Hall of Fame bowler, world champion. And Mark Webber with an answer there. Drops 10. Nick looking to match in the pocket. Nick leaves the diamond left with a 2, 4, 5, and 8 piece of deadwood. And he makes the diamond. Looks like that piece of deadwood kind of corralled the shot together for him. As both of our bowlers come out firing here in the 6th. Weber looking to double up. Bounces it down. Carries 8. Leaves the 3 and the 6. Nick finds the pocket. Carries 9. Leaves just the 9 pin. As Weber chops off the 3 pin for a 9 load there. The bowlers seem to have caught fire here. Slides by his 9 pin. And Weber checks 9 there. Puts him at 94 through 7. And Nick with a 9 as well. Puts him at 72 through 7.
Finish strong, Nick. Finish strong.
So 3 boxes here in our 5th string of this 10-string match. And the bowlers have heated up. Weber looking to carry a couple extra. Colery left minus the head pin. Nick breaks up the split. Leaves the 2, 4, and 7. Weber looking to drive this one home here. He opts to go right at the shot. And there goes the 7. He was on the inside of the 2 pin, and somehow the 7 didn't carry. As Nick chops off the 2 pin. Tough break there. And tough 8 box there for Nick. Puts him at 80 through 8. A little extra screen time there for you, Jeff. Mark Weber on his spare fill, chops out half Worcester left. Norcross on the headman, splashes 9, will it be 10? Nick's got a clean look at the 7 pin here. Marks off right, leaves the 1, 4, 7, and 5. And Nick is all over his 7 pin. Puts him at 90 and a ball through 9. And a top 6 box there for Mark, puts him at 112. Mark Weber on lane 10. Rips a rack, drops 10. Kind of bounced that down there. Nick carries 7 on his spare load. Leaves the 1, 3, and 10. Looks like it's just him and the pins there. And he's on the head pin and takes it. 2 in a row there for Norcross. Puts him at 107 and a ball in the 10th. So our challengers will make back some here. Gonna bring this to under 30 pins here. 5 strings to go. As Weber steals 9. And Norcross punches 4, Tough way to finish there, but puts him at a 111. And Weber with his spare puts him at 132. So a 270 string for Shawn Morrison and Nick Norcross there. Yeah, that's 5, yeah. Just want to double check my math here. I don't want to be wrong, I gotta double check. Oh, thanks, bartender. Alright, so right after the bowlers finish their boxes here, I will flash up the scores. Jeff takes 9, and Shawn checks 10. So, through 5 strings here in Augusta, Maine, our defending champions have a 30-pin lead on Nick Norcross and Shawn Morrison. Tight match though, 30 pins in a matter of 10 strings isn't really too much at all. As Jeff leaves a 2 and 2, and Shawn takes out 4. Both bowlers looking for 10s here. Jeff takes 9, and Shawn grabs 10. Whoever won 600, you won a 599. Excuse me there. Jeff in the pocket, carries 8. Shawn in the pocket looking to break it up, and he carries 9. Jeff is looking at the 3-6. He's got a clean look at that. And Shawn with a 2-pin. He's got a clean look at that as well. Jeff makes his 3-6. He's all over that. And Shawn as well grabs his spare in the 3rd. After 5, our individual leaders are Mark Weber with a 599, Shawn Morrison with a 587 on the heels of his 159 string, Jeff Lapierre with a 569, and Nick Norcross with a 551. As Jeff drops 8 on his spare, he's got the 5-9 piece of deadwood, and he makes it. Shawn chopped out 2 on his spare, and he gets everything except for the 1 and the 6 on his second ball. Looking to grab 10 here, and he will do that. Puts him at 42 through 4. Jeff looking for 3 in a row here. Chops off the eagle. And Shawn leaves himself the 2 and the 5. With what looks like a nice piece of deadwood right in between. And Jeff takes out just the 6-10. He's looking at 4 pins. And Shawn slides by the left there. Jeff looking for a big cleanup. He takes 9. And Shawn with the 10 bucks there. Puts him at 52 for Shawn and 59 for Jeff. So Mike Weber stepping up here for his 6th game. And he starts out chopping off 5, 6. And Nick crosses over there, leaves the check mark left, plus the 10 pin. And Weber shooting at the 1, 3, 6, and 5, leaves everything except, yeah, wow, words, Kobe. Takes everything except for the 3 pin. As Norcross chops off the 4 for an 8 box there to start his 6th string. And Weber in the pocket. He'll leave the 6 and 9. Norcross crosses over. Leaves the 2, 7, 8, and 10. So Weber's at a clean look here at the 6 and 9. And he just hits the deadwood there, goes right in between them. Nick's looking to plow this one home. And nothing comes off the wall, he'll get the 10 pin. As Weber takes an 8 box there, puts him at 18 through 2. And Nick with the 10, puts him at 18 as well through 2. Kind of bounces one down there. Drops 8, leaves the 7 and the 8. Nick off the head pin, just chops out 3. And Mark just takes out the 8 pin there. He'll have the 7 pin for a 10 box. And Nick puts a great bid on that there. Leaves the 4 and the 7. As Weber checks 10. Norcross takes a tough 9 there. Mark Weber here on lane 10. Back in the pocket. Leaves the 6, 9, and 10. Triangle right. And Nick drops 10. The second his ball touched the head pin, those pins seem to crumble right down. As Weber makes his triangle.
Mark Weber.
So Weber working on the spare here. Off the head pin. Leaves the 7-8, but he was on the 2 pin this time. And Norcross off the head pin as well. Leaves the 1, 7, and 9. Whole pile of deadwood down by the 7 pin. And Nick slides by the head pin there, leaves the 1 and 7. Weber has just the 7 pin. He makes his for a 10 and a 56 half. And Norcross will grab 9 there for a 54 half. And the bowlers swap sides again here. Shawn Morrison steps up on lane 10. Looking to find some of that second half magic here like he did last time. Starts out with the 3, 5, and 6. As Jeff chops off the half Worcester left. And Shawn on the triangle, but nothing carried into the 5. Jeff's on the inside of that, leaves the 4, 5, and 10. And Shawn clears up 10 there. Jeff looking for 1 or 2 here, and he takes 1 for an 8 box. Puts him at 67 through 6. And Shawn Morrison is currently at 62 through 6. Shawn Morrison in the 1-2 pocket. Rips 9 there. Leaves just the 5 pin. Great ball. Jeff in the 1-3. He takes 10. Shawn with the answer on the 5 pin right in the face. Nice answer there. Sometimes when your opponent throws that hammer, the 9 drop just seems like a small little pin down there, but Shawn's been doing this a long time. As he drops 10. Strike on spare for Shawn Morrison. That was a no-doubter right out of his hand. Jeff looking to double up. Oh, great ball there from Jeff. Buries the pocket, leaves the 5 pin. And Jeff with a 5 pin pickup there. Him and Shawn swap boxes, going strike spare and spare strike. 2 boxes to go here in the 6th game for our first bowlers. Shawn looking to double up. Takes out just the 1 and the 9. Unbelievable. Jeff on his spare load on the 3 pin. Drops 6. Leaves the 1, 2, 8, and 9. Shawn looking to get a bunch here for his load. And he chops out just the 6 pin for a 3 load. Jeff looking to capitalize here. And he does. Spare in the 9th for Jeff. As Shawn chops out 1 there for a tough 4 box. Puts him at 99 through 9. Looking for a big finish here. Meanwhile, Jeff is working on a 1-13 and a ball in the 9th. As our challengers look to gain their lead back up a little bit. Shawn with the 1-8. Back-to-back boxes. Unbelievable. Jeff on the 3-pin. He carries 7. And Shawn on the 4-7, but he steals a couple. Leaving himself a cluster of 5 right for a 10 box. Jeff at the 1, 2, and 8 misses. Shawn carries 9 there for a 108 string. And Jeff takes 10 there for a 130. Sometimes the game giveth and the game taketh away. As our anchor bowlers step up here, Nick Norcross in the 1-2. Leaves the 6 and 7. Meanwhile, Mark Weber misses the head pin on the right side, but leaves the 1, 4, and 7. And Nick looking to snap it over. Oh, right behind the 7. Mark a little full there, but the deadwood snapped in for the spare. And Nick takes 9 there. Norcross here in the 7th box. Punches through the head pin again. Takes out just 4. Meanwhile, Weber in the 1-2. Rips 9 on that load there. Leaves a 7 pin with a couple of deadwoods that look, whichever one he hits looks like they're favorable. And he opts for the slanted one. Looking for a big cleanup here. And he takes 2. Tough 7 box there. Puts him at 70 through 7. So 3 boxes here and the 6th string left. Norcross misses the head pin right, leaves the 1, 2, and 10. Meanwhile, Weber off the head pin as well. 6 load, leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 8. Both bowlers have clean looks at their shots here. As Norcross is on the outside of that head pin and takes it. Ball jumps right into the 10 pin there. As Weber punches out the 3 pin there. For a big cleanup here. And he takes 1 for an 8 box. Puts him at 99 through 8. Meanwhile, Nick Norcross is at 80 working on that spare he just threw. Nick back on the head pin, and he carries 9. Leaves just the 10 pin for a spare. And Weber takes 9 himself. Leaves the 6 pin. Clean look at it. Norcross unable to convert there. Slides by on the left. And Weber gets just enough of that 6 pin there. Norcross slides by again for a 9 box. Puts him at 98 through 9. crosses over on the 1-3. No luck, leaves the 5, 9, 10. And Weber's on the 1-2. Leaves the 3, 7, and 9. Couple pieces of deadwood look like they'll help. 7 load on that mark. Weber looking to convert here. The wood danced right over to the 7 pin, but slid right in front of it. As Norcross takes an 8 for a 106 and a 214 total for our challengers there. And Weber takes 9 for a 125 and a 255 for our champions there. Jeff put his spare bid on the head pin there. Leaves the 8 and the 9. And Shawn checks the 5 box there for a 9 to start. Can't talk to that. Jeff takes a 9. Second frame here of the 7th game is off on the 2 pin. Carries 4. Jeff off the head pin as well. He carries 8. Leaves the 8 and the 9. Shawn looking to push through. The corners stay for him. Morrison takes 10, making the 7-10. And Jeff with a 9 box there. Looking for a mix. He carries 7 there. Leaves the 1, 2, and 7. Jeff on the head pin. He carries 8, 9, 10. The 2 and the 4 fell late. Piece of wood keeps spinning off the wall. As Morrison puts a good hit on that. Head pin went right around the 2 pin there. But he checks 10. For a 29 through 3. Now Morrison just off the head pin there. Excuse me. Leaves the Caleri left. Jeff looking to double up. Great ball there from Jeff. Leaves the 7 pin. Piece of wood right in front of it. There's Morrison shooting the Caleri, and he makes it. That's a great shot there from Shawn. Gives him 39 and 39 and a ball through 4. And Jeff makes his 9 drop. putting him at 48 and a ball through 4. Spare on strike. As Morrison on the load. Really wound up into that one. Leaves the 4 horsemen right. Jeff just slides by the head pin. Steals 9. And your ball's working, your ball's working. Nice Shawn makes the horseman 2 in a row. 55 and a ball. Jeff looking to plow through it. And Jeff looking to clean up 10. He will have to take 9 and a 66 front half. Our anchor bowlers step up here. Norcross on lane 10. Slides off to the left. Leaves the 1, 3, and 6. Weber off the head pin as well. Carries 7 as well. Leaves the 1, 3, and 7. Nick looking to run it down. Slides just by the head pin.
Sorry. Thank you.
Weber on the outside. Deadwood swung just behind the 7 there. As Nick grabs his 10 bucks. And Weber will do the same there. Norcross here punches out 3 on the 3 pin. Meanwhile, Weber on the 2 pin carries 6. Leaves the 1, 3, 8, and 10. Norcross looking to go outside. Finds the curtain. I will flash the scores up right after this box, but right now it is a 71 pin lead before the string for our defending champions Mark Weber and Jeff Lapierre. That's Norcross, tough 4 box there. Weber finds 9. And here are those scores for you. We have 14-23 for our champs and 13-52 for our challengers. But as you can see, there's still 3.5 strings left. So plenty of time for the challengers to turn it around. As Norcross drops 9. And Weber off the head pin has the horseman. Nope, there goes the 10 pin. Leaves himself a much easier 1, 3, 6. Norcross swung everything right around that 6 pin. And there it is for a 10 box for Nick. Weber looking for a 10 as well, and he has it. Box here. Nick buries the pocket. Looking to get a couple more. And the 6 pin stays, so he'll have the 3, 5, and 6 triangle. Meanwhile, Weber in the 1, 2 leaves just the 6 pin. with a piece of deadwood that is touching. As Nick makes his triangle there. Piece of deadwood kind of tied that together for him. And Weber makes his 6-pin. Matching spares in the 4th here for our anchor bowlers. Norcross on the load, off on the 2-pin, carries 9. I don't know. I bet it's a lot closer than you think it is. That might be in. I bet that's close. Yeah. Oh. I thought that was.
Yeah, I pulled back the second time. I thought he was going to leave it in. I'm like, all right. Further out than what? The other one was.
I thought it was going to be close, yeah. Norcross takes a spare there. And Weber drives the head pin there. Leaves the 6, 7, and 10. And a great 10 there for Mark Weber. 52 front half. What's the head pin? What's the head pin?
Where is it?
Oh.
Sorry. I'm not breaking. You can't hit it, right?
Shawn Morrison here on lane 9, working on a spare. He drops 6, leaves the 1, 2, 7, and 10. Lapierre looking at a 3 and 1, just snuck by that the 2-pin there. Shawn looking to capitalize. Nothing found the 10-pin over there. The deadwood went straight up and stopped. As Jeff takes an 8-box, putting him at 74 through 6. And Morrison with a 9 puts him at 70 through 6. Jeff in the 7th here, half Worcester left. Shawn's on the head pin. He carries 9. Leaves himself just the 8-pin. Jeff finds the pocket there. Has the 4, 7, and 9. Shawn looking to capitalize right around the deadwood, right in the face. Great shot there from Shawn Morrison. Jeff looking for 9 or 10 here. And he will take a 9, putting him at 83 through 7. 3 boxes left here in the 7th game. And Jeff looking to find that head pin. Just off, leaves the 1, 2, 7, and 8. Meanwhile, Shawn buries the head, but looking to break it up, and he will. He carries 9 on his fill, putting him at 89 through 7. As Jeff brings his spare in the 8th. 93 and a ball for him. Looks like as long as Morrison goes right at that deadwood there, he should be fine. And he is for the spare. 2 in a row for him, puts him at 99 and a ball through 8. When his ball's been in that pocket today, it's been explosive. I don't feel like it's a strong enough word for it. As Jeff finds the head pin himself, takes out the... leaves the 5 in the 8. And Morrison just slid by there, took out 5. Puts him at 104 through 8. And Jeff giving that piece of deadwood a good look over. See what he decides to do with it here. I'm thinking probably all the way left. He opted for right, found the cap. Morrison in the pocket. Leaves the 4 and the 7 there. As Jeff checks a 9 box there, puts him at 110 through 9. And an 8 for Morrison. Puts him at 112 through 9. And Jeff on the head pin leaves the 4-7. Looking at a couple caps. He does have a clean look at the 4-7 pocket. Morrison punches out the spread eagle there. And Jeff is all over it. Great shot there from Jeff, avoiding those caps and finding that 4 pin. As Morrison cut the 3 into the 2, but nothing went back for the 4-7. Shawn's still going to have a nice game here as he finishes with a 122. 7th string. Jeff looking for a big load here. And he drops 10. Back-to-back 130 games for Jeff Lapierre here in the 6th and 7th strings. .382 last 3 for Jeff Lapierre. As Weber steps up and drops 4. Nick on the spare fill. Only finds the 4 pin there. Norcross, nice recovery there. Leaves just the 10 pin. As Weber takes a 10. Norcross does the same. Puts him at 64 through 6. And Weber is at 62 through 6. So a 6-pin lead right now in the string for our defending champions. That puts them up 77 in the match. And we have 4 boxes here left in the 7th string. My apologies. Both of our bowlers missed the head pin here. Weber's looking at the 1, 3, 6, and 7. And he takes out just the head pin there. Norcross looking at the 1, 4, 7, and 9. And he makes that. No deadwood. What a shot there from Nick Norcross. Mark looking to clean up a couple here. And he will do that with a 9 box. Puts him at 71 through 7. Weber in his 8th box is on the head pin, leaves the big 4. Norcross on his fill, drops 6, leaves the 4 horsemen left. Now Weber loses 2 there. So the best he can do here is an 8 box. And he will take a 7. And Norcross will take 8. Puts him at 88 through 8. And Weber is at 78 through 8. Weber here in the pocket, drops 9. Norcross pins are wiggling and wobbling down there. Leaves the 4 horsemen left, plus the 8 and 10. Whole pile of deadwood in behind the 2 pin. Weber shooting at the 10 pin. And he makes it for a spare in the 9th box. Norcross puts a fantastic bid on it, buried the ball in the head pin. And the 10 pin is just glued to the floor there. He checks it off there for a 10 box. Puts him at 98 through 9. Meanwhile, Mark Weber is at 88, working on that spare he just threw in the 9th. On the head pin. Almost sounded dead there, but he carried 8. Jeff, only get it. Both bowlers carry 8 here. As Weber gets his. Norcross unable to find his mark there. Looking for a 10 box in a 1 away game. And he checks 9 and a 107. 229 for a challenger's that string. Weber here looking to gain on this lead that they have in the string. He will drop 7 in a 113 string. That is a 243 for our defending champions. Yep. So as we head into the 8th game here, Shawn Morrison will start out with a spare. And Jeff will start out with a 6 box. 5 box, my part. Got 6, yeah. Can't do math today. Flash the scores here. Alright, our defending champions, Jeff Lapierre and Mark Weber, are at 1666, and they are up 85 pins on the challengers of Shawn Morrison and Nick Norcross. But with 3 games left, it is not out of the realm of possibility, as Shawn Morrison gets 7 on his spare. He leaves the 3, 6, and 10 piece of deadwood that looks very friendly. And he pushes it through 2 in a row to start the 8th game for Shawn Morrison. So Jeff Lapierre in the 3rd box here. After going 14 his first 2, drops 5 on his first ball. And Shawn Morrison on his load just slides by that head pin. Leaves the 1 and the 2. Puts him at 35 through 2. Jeff looking to make a pretty shot here. Slides by the 3 pin on the 6. And that's all he takes out. Shawn looking to capitalize, and he does. 3 in a row for Shawn Morrison to start the 8th game here. As Jeff cleans up 8. Wow, that's a big one.
A lot of grease, like wet grease. Almost like oil.
So Jeff chops out 4 here. And Morrison looking for a big load. He gets 6. Leaves the 4 horsemen right. Puts him at 51 through 3. Shawn just slides by there. Leaves the 1 and the 10. Meanwhile, Jeff is looking at the 6, 7, and 10. Looks like he's Jeff's guaranteed a 9 bucks here. And he gets that. Shawn should have 9 or 10 here. And he takes 10. 61 through 4 for Shawn. 31 through 4 for Jeff. So a 30-pin swing just like that. 4 boxes for our challengers. Jeff looking to stop the bleeding a little bit. Only drops 4. Meanwhile, Morrison's in the pocket. He leaves the check mark right. And Jeff, full on the head pin, leaves the 5 pin for a 10 bucks. And Shawn goes 4 out of 5 in the start of the 8th here. 71 in the ball. Great start there from Shawn Morrison. Shawn's catching fire again here in Augusta. When his ball's in that pocket, it's been deadly all day, and when he's on his object pins, you know he's bound to break off 4 or 5 in a row like that. As Weber steps up and leaves the 7, 8, 9. Norcross slides just off the head pin, leaves the 4 horsemen left, plus the 8 pin. Weber looking to snap this, snaps it right around the 9 pin, takes out the 7 and the 8. And Nick's just off that headpin there. Piece of deadwood going towards, not enough steam on it there. And Weber starts his game out with a 10. And Norcross, a weird 9 there. I'll fix it again, Mark. Yeah. It follows you up there, but not down here. Oh yeah. And Weber skips one down, punches out an eagle variation. Norcross squeaks by the headpin, leaves the 1-3. Very makeable shot here. Weber's on the 4-pin, but he finds a way to carry 5. And Nick takes advantage there, makes a spare shot in the second. And Weber takes 10 to put him at 20 through 2. Mark Weber here on lane 10. Augusta Maine drops 10. Norcross looking for a big load here. Just slid by that headpin. 4 horsemen right, plus the 7-pin. Nice piece of wood behind the 3-pin. He's in the 1-3 pocket here. And he just misses outside. With a tough 7 there. Puts him at 31 through 3. And Mark Weber here on lane 10 looking to double up. Slides by the headpin on the left side. Leaves just the 1 and the 6. Norcross just off the headpin as well, takes it out, leaves the 2, 4, 7, and 9 with a piece of deadwood in front of the 2, 4, 7 as Weber takes out his spare there, spare on strike for Mark. Norcross looking to plow through this, gets the 2, 4, 7, but the ball carried right around the 9. He will check 10 there, 41 through 4. And Mark on his load here, on the headpin. Got 6, 7. Nick on the headpin. We have the 4, 5, 7, and 8. Wow. Nick with a great bid. He put the ball right on the cap. Everything shot right in front of that 7-pin. Weber takes 9 for a 66 half. Norcross will take his 10 there for a 51. So our first bowlers are stepping back up here. Shawn on lane 10 working on a spare 71 and a ball here. He is on the pocket. Drops 7. Leaves the 2, 4, and 10. And Jeff on the head pin as well. He leaves the 4, 5, 7, and 10. And Shawn just slides by that 2 pin. And Jeff makes a pretty spare there.
Well, inside
80 something?
That should be good then.
Yeah.
So Shawn took an 8 box there. And Jeff, with that pretty conversion, is sitting at 50. Working on a spare ball here. 2, 6. As Shawn on the head pin, plows straight through it. 159. Alright, there we go. Got the little lane problem taken care of. Jeff loading a spare. Just slides by the head pin. Leaves the 4 horsemen left, plus the 10 for a 5 load. And Shawn chops off the 3 pin. Shawn on the 4 pin takes a 7 box, 93 through 7. Jeff chops out the 4 pin for an 8 box, puts him at 63 through 7. That's Shawn on the head pin. That looked like it was 10 on the way down. Jeff looking to break up the split. He does. Leaves the 2, 4, 7. And Shawn finds that cap on the right side. He's unable to carry the 5 there. And Jeff runs his 2, 4, 7. Shawn takes a 9 box there. Shawn in the 9th. Carries a couple extras. So Shawn is looking at the 9-10. Weber. Shawn is unable to get that 9-10 to go. Meanwhile, Jeff checks up his 4-pin for a spare. Shawn takes another 9 bucks there, putting him at 111 through 9. Morrison is in the pocket, leaves the check mark right. Jeff off the head pin. 4 horsemen left, plus the 9-10 for a 4 load. And Morrison checks it down there. 121 in the ball in the 10th. Putting together another nice string here. As Jeff's looking for a big out here. And he takes 8 for a 104. Shawn looking for a big load, and he takes, that'll be 9. So 130 string there from Shawn Morrison. 252 his last 2. As Norcross steps up and dumps 10. Weber is just off the head pin. Leaves the 1, 4, 7, and 9. Weber takes 10 there, puts him at 76 through 6, and Norcross is at 61 working on that strike. Norcross, double, slides right, leaves the 4 horsemen left in the 8-pin. And Weber's on the head pin and he drops 10. 86 and 2 balls through 7 for Mark Weber. That's a great ball there. As Nick chops off the 1 and the 7. Takes a 7 load on his strike and an 8 box. Where we're 76 through 7. Norcross on the 3-pin leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 8. And Weber looking to double up, drops 8. Leaves the 2 and the 4. We can look at it. As Nick runs his shot down for a spare in the 8th. 86 in a ball for Norcross. And Weber finds the curtain there. 8 load on the strike. Puts him at 94 through 7. And then 10 box will put him at 104 through 8. Kind of weird.
I called 3 strings this last week. Before that, it was 11 strings in 9 months.
Yeah.
11,
Makes it hard.
16, 19 strings.
Yeah.
That don't help.
No.
You know,
And you got 10 today, right?
and then again,
Yeah.
maybe after 10 today, I'll be ready for next week.
looking at the 6-9, and he makes that for a spare in the 9th. Nice shot for Nick there. And Weber looking at the 1, 7, 9, and 10. Leaves just the 7. Nice bid there from him. He's looking for a 10 here. He touches that deadwood in the channel for a 9. Puts him at 113 through 9. And Norcross is at 114 and a ball through 9. That's 104, Kobe. And Norcross on the headpin. Norcross has just the 6 pin, and he made it. 123 and a ball in the 10th for Nick Norcross. And Weber has the exact same. Both bowlers making 9 drops in the last box there. So it looks like our challengers are going to make somewhere between 20 and 30 pins up here this string. It's going to bring it back down to about 60, roughly. Nick with a tough 4 there. And Weber matches with 4. So a pair of 127s for the anchor bowlers there. Ooh, 57 for our challengers there to a 231. So they will gain 26 pins that string. Start of the 9th game here. Jeff Lapierre gets up and drops 10. Shawn Morrison is looking at the 2 and the 7. And he finds the hole there. Yeah, Shawn takes 10 there. And I'm going to flash the scores up real quick here while they're resetting. After 8, our champions Mark Weber and Jeff Lapierre have a 59 pin lead. 2 games left here. And Jeff is working on that strike. Slides by the head pin on the right. Leaves the 1-8-9. Shawn's got the 3-6 here, and he slides just by the 6. As Jeff puts a good bid there on his spare attempt. He gets 9 on his strike for a 19 box to start. As Shawn takes 10, he's at 20 through 2. Jeff grabs his 10, puts him at 29 through 2. And Morrison back on the head pin. A little full that time. Leaves the 2-4-7, 6 and 9. As Jeff just slides by on that 3 pin. Well, he did have the 1, 2, 9, and 10, and then the 2 fell forward into the head pin. So he's looking at the 9 and 10. As Morrison kind of slides by. Jeff kind of taking his time here, looking at this shot. A couple different ways he could play this. Let's see where he decides. He likes the cap, and it pushes through. And Shawn takes a 9, puts him at 29 through 3. And Jeff is at 39, working on that shot he just made there. Morrison looking to get something going here. On the headpin, drops 10. My goodness. Jeff trying to match. Drops 9 there. Leaves just the 5 pin. Even Mark Webber has a shot at making this one. And it goes for Jeff. Hey, Webber. And Morrison slides by the headpin on the left, leaves the 1 and the 3. Jeff on his fill. He liked it. Drop 6. Leaves the 2, 4, 6, and 10. And Morrison makes the 1, 3. Spare on strike to end his half. Puts him at 59 and a ball. Jeff looking to do something crazy here. Yeah, cuts the 2 right behind the 6 and the 10. Looking for a 9 or a 10 box here. And he will grab 10. 74 front half for Jeff Lapierre. Norcross steps up, lane 10. Hits the headpin, leaves the 2, 4, and 6. Mark Webber on lane 9 just slides by the headpin. He carries 6, leaves the 1, 3, 8, and 10. Norcross looking to get it off the wall. Nothing was able to get over to the 6. Meanwhile, Webber just finds the left side of that 3 pin, leaves the 1 and the 10. As Nick checks 9 to start his 9th frame. Webber takes 9 as well. So Norcross takes out 6, maybe 7 here. No, just 6. And Webber sneaks 7, maybe 8. No, Norcross is looking at the 4 horseman right, piece of dead wood. Sweeps into the horseman right. Nice shot there from Nick. As Webber chops off the 3 pin, leaving him with the 4, 6. He takes an 8 box there, puts him at 17 through 2. So Norcross working on that spare here, the 3rd box. Looking to find that headpin. Just sneaks by and grabs 5. Caleri right. Webber on the headpin again. Leaves the 3, 6, 4, and 7. And Norcross runs the horseman but leaves the 8 pin. Great bid there. As Webber got it to dance into the 4 pin but not the 7. Norcross takes his 10, putting him at 34 through 3. And Weber takes his 10, putting him at 27 through 3. Nick in the 4th, all over the head pin, leaves the 2 and 4. Weber off the head pin, leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 9. Both bowlers have clean shots here at their spare leaves. And Nick just by there on the 4 pin. And Weber didn't miss that by much there. Leaves just the head pin. As Norcross grabs 10, 44 through 4. Weber takes 9, 36 through 4. Norcross off the head pin right. Leaves the 1, 2, and 10. Weber on lane 9, just finds that head pin, leaves the 3, 6, and 9. Piece of deadwood that looks like it'll cover everything. As Nick's in the pocket, looked like it was going to go around, but just barely caught the 10 pin there for a spare in the 5th. And Weber sweeps his in as well. 46 in the ball for Weber, 54 in the ball for Norcross. As our first bowlers step back up here, we have Jeff Lapierre on the right, working on a 74 half, and Shawn Morrison on the left, working on 59 and a spare fill. Jeff punches 5 there off the 2 pin. Morrison looking for a big load, he punches 2. Puts him at 61 half. A little extra screen time for Mark Weber today. Chops out the 1, 9. And Morrison finds the hole there. Jeff will check 8. And Morrison will take a 6. So Jeff Lapierre on the 7th box here on the head pin. He drops 10. Morrison just slid by there. Leaves himself the 1, 2, 7, 9, and 10. Let's see what he can do with it. Puts a good bid on it. Leaves just the 2 and the 10. And he will take a 9 box there. Puts him at 76, 37. Jeff working on that strike. Just able to get a 3 there. Meanwhile, Morrison's all over the head pin. Carries 7. Jeff looking for a big load here, and he makes it. 112 and a ball for Jeff Lapierre through eight boxes. Morrison makes his shot. That makes the 4-7-10. Great shot there from Shawn Morrison. So Jeff on his spare fill buries that pocket. Drops 9. Leaves just the 5-pin. Morrison on the head pin as well. Drops 6. Leaves the 3, 4, 8, and 10. Jeff's got a nice piece of wood here. He opts to cap it. Shawn looking for an out here. Oh, what a dime from Shawn. So right now, Jeff Lapierre is working on 131 and a ball in the 9th box. And he's in the pocket again. Drop 6. Shawn is off the head pin, carrying 3. And Jeff makes the 5-10. Shawn on the 2-pin there. Leaves himself a cluster of 5 pins. As Jeff checks 9 there for a 146 string. Shawn with a tough 5 puts him at 106. So both of our anchor boys here step up on spares. Mark Webber drops 6, giving him a 52 half. And Nick Norcross drops 7, giving him a 61 half. Webber chops off the head pin. And Norcross a little full on the head pin, leaves the 6. Before the string started, the total was plus 59 for our champions, Mark and Jeff. And they currently have a 29-pin lead in this string as well. So it's going to be right up around that 80 mark again if the string would end right now. As Mark Webber drops 7, leaving the 2, 7, and 10. A couple of nice pieces of wood for him, though. If he's on that 2-pin, I think it'll go. And he just slid by that 2-pin, got just the 7. And Norcross on his 4 horsemen left in the 10-pin takes out just the 2-pin. So Webber beats his up for a 10 box. And Nick takes, well, we thought was a sure 2. He was just able to get the 4-pin out of there for a 7 box, putting him at 77 through 7. And Mark Webber at 69 through 7. right, Norcross here drops 7. Weber drops 5. Let's see what he does with this deadwood. And he gave it a good bid with a 6-10 stood for him. And Norcross gets the 2-pin off the wall. Spare in the 8th for Nick Norcross. As Weber takes an 8 box there. So Mark Weber here in the 9th box. Off on the 3-pin, he carries 7. Norcross on his load, he's looking for a mix. He carries 5. So Mark Weber looking for a spare here, and he takes 8. As Norcross makes his spare. 2 in a row for him, puts him at 102 through 9. And Weber takes an 8 box for an 85 through 9. Mark Weber in the 10th box here. Chops off 3. Norcross on his load. Spread eagle. Weber just misses the head pin there. Leaves the 1, 4, 7, and 10. And Nick looking to make a pretty one. Leaves the 3, 6, and 10. Weber has an 8, 4, instead of 93. 93 for Mark. And a 114 for Nick Norcross. A 220 for our challengers, and a 239 for our champions there. So as we start our last game here, both bowlers start out with a 10 box. Here are the totals for anybody curious at home. We have on the right Jeff Lapierre and Mark Weber with a 21-36 through 9. Puts them up 78 to a 20-58. And there's one string left here. Anything still within reach here. Bowlers can get hot and cold. As Morrison chops off the head pin on the 4 horsemen. Jeff takes an 8 there, puts him at 17 through 2. And a 7 for Morrison, puts him at 17 through 2 as well. Jeff on the 2-pin leaves the 1, 3, 8, 9. And Morrison on the 3-pin leaves the 1, 2, 5, and 9. Jeff looking to make it off the wall right behind the 8-pin. Morrison pushes through, but nothing touches the 9. So Jeff with a 9 there puts him at 26 through 3. Morrison with a 10 puts him at 27 through 3. High man right now after 9 is Jeff Lapierre with a 1079. The last 4 strings he's really caught fire. As he punches 2 there. Shouldn't open my mouth, I guess. As Morrison carries 9 out of there. Looked like it was going to be the 5, 6, 9, 10, but we got a late mixing action there. Alrighty, Jeff here on his spare load in the 4th. On the head pin, he carries 8, 9. Leaves just the 5 pin there. Puts him at 45 through 4. And Morrison, 1, 7, 8, 9, 5 load. Jeff looking to bring this one in, and he does. 2 in a row for Jeff and his last half there, last first half, putting him at 55 through 5.
You know the old saying, don't talk about it, just do it.
Shawn ends off his last first half with a 50. Ranger bowlers step up here for the last time on their respective lanes. Mark Webber's on the head pin, leaves the 4, 5, 6. You don't see that one every day. Weber finds the hole there. Norcross is looking at the cluster of 5 left plus the 10. And it looks like it's all tied together, and it is. Nice shot there for Nick to start his last game. 8 there for Weber to start his game. Weber here, dropping 8. Norcross takes out the same 4 on the other side. He's done it here. He does have a 200 here, yep. Weber checks 9 there. Puts him at 17 through 2. Norcross with a 5 box puts him at 19 through 2. Top one there for him. And Weber just off the head pin there. Leaves the 1, 2, 7, 9, and 10. And Norcross punches 3 on the right side. As Weber hits the cap to the right of the 2 pin, takes out just the 7. Norcross on the 2 pin, leaves the 1 and the 10. 7 box there for Weber, puts him at 24 through 3. And an 8 for Norcross, puts him at 27. Weber takes out 6. Norcross chops out the 4 pin. Weber leaves just the 10 pin. And Norcross finds the head pin there, leaves the 2 and 7. And that'll be a 9 box for Mark, puts him at 33 for 4. And a 9 for Norcross puts him at 36. Under.
Get a 6 box at least.
Mark Weber drops a strike there in the 5th. Nick Norcross is looking at the 5 pin, and he has got it. As our first bowlers step up here, Shawn Morrison drops 7, leaving the 1, 2, 10. Jeff Lapierre has the 4 horsemen left, giving him a 61.5. And he runs it in for a spare. Nice shot there from Jeff, who has been just absolutely on fire the last, at least 4 out of the last 5. He's had really good strings, and he's been on his object pins. Morrison on the head pin leaves the 5, 6, 9, and 10. And Jeff with a strike on his spare. So Jeff is at 91 and 2 balls through 7. And Morrison with that 9 puts him at 68 through 7. Morrison on the head pin leaves the 3, 5, 6. And Jeff on the 3 pin takes 4. And Morrison just slides by there on the 6 pin. As Jeff almost makes another pretty shot there, puts 9 on his strike. And a 10 for Shawn puts him at 78 through 8. And a 10 for Jeff. Oh, it's a 9. A little good out of his hand. Puts him at 109 through 8. So it's looking like Jeff Lapierre is going to reach 1,200 here. He takes 7 there. Morrison looking at the 2, 4, and 10. And he just chops off the 4 there. And Jeff almost made another pretty one there. Just leaves up the 7. Shawn takes 8. Puts him at 86. And Jeff with a 9 puts him at 118. So Jeff just needs 2 pins here to surpass the 1200 mark. There's 1200 right there. And nice shot for Shawn there, making the Caleri. Am I allowed to call Nico on that one? Or? Wow, that was incredible. And Shawn finishes up with a 7 fill on his spare there. And Jeff takes 7 as well. Jeff had a 135 last string, I believe. Shawn with a 103. I think like he said, I think it hit and flipped and stood back up. That was weird. So we have an 11.56 for Shawn Morrison. As Mark Webber gets a double strike. A little delayed reaction, but Jeff Lapierre with a 12-14 today. After a 569 front half. 645 the back half for Jeff Lapierre. Really caught fire there. Even with his 104 string, his other 4 were unbelievable. As Nick finds a 6-pin there. And Weber looking for a triple. Leaves just the 4-pin. We're looking to go spare on double, and he does. Gives him 92 and a ball through 7. And Norcross checks 8 there. He's got 70 through 7. So he did it, Jeff. You got 12.
I hit 12?
Yeah.
Just barely.
14.
12-14.
You got a 569 front 5, so. And Nick crosses over there. Check mark left. It's all formalities at this point. That about sums up the day that Nick and Shawn have had right there. Take 9 there. Norcross here. Hits the head pin, drops 7. Weber drops 6. And Nick with a good bid there on that 5, 9, 10. And Weber makes his shot. With a 10 there, Nick is up to 89 through 9. And Mark Weber is at 116 and a ball. So, last box here. As Mark drops 8. Nick with a spare in his final box. And Mark almost made a pretty one there. He's going to be just under 1,200 for the day. He is going to finish with a 134. And a 269 final string. With a 107 and a 210 there.
Yep.
Thank you.
Gotta go ground myself. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, that was Justin Water.
Hey, we were watching that match the whole time during
I was like, I gotta see Kai win.
we were watching that the whole time. We were waiting for you to bust one out, and you did. I was like, there he is.
Someone's gonna do that double. That was
Yeah.
So here is the final
Yeah.
here in Augusta, Maine. Our 12-time now champions, Mark Weber and Jeff Lapierre, go 24.05 to 22.68 for the challengers. Next match is going to be Chris Merrill and DJ Trask. So keep an eye out for that one, and we will see you guys next time. This is Kobe Carrier signing off.